Yes, guys, welcome to the weekend roundup. The game week started with Newcastle versus Arsenal at St James's Park, which was a very interesting game. I think it was a game people expected more from, but Newcastle stood up. Alexander Isak with a fine header, and they won that game by one goal to nil. Scored the goal in the first half, and everyone believed Arsenal would come back to like equalize and maybe get a win in that game, but that never happened. Newcastle defended really well. They had a couple of other chances. They could have killed the game against Arsenal, but Arsenal they've been struggling in the last couple of games, and a lot of Arsenal fans will say they miss Odegaard, which is true. Odegaard was the creative spark. He was the one doing a lot of the creativity or the creative job in the midfield. And since he has not been there, Arsenal have struggled to create chances. They have also struggled up front to score goals. And we saw that against Newcastle. They lost 1-0 to Newcastle. Moving on from there, I think this was a very shocking result, which no one expected in this game week. That is AFC Bournemouth versus Manchester City. AFC Bournemouth won against Manchester City, 2-1. And there was no record in that game. There was no, it was 11 players. But AFC Bournemouth stood up. They got two good goals. They defended really well. Towards the end of the second half, Guardiola got one back, but that was not enough to get Man City even a point. And I think that shows the strength in depth of a lot of the teams in the Premier League. You don't know what to expect every game week, and that was a fantastic game and a fantastic win by AFC Bournemouth in that game. They've won back-to-back games against Arsenal and Man City. And these are tough fixtures that you expect them to struggle, you expect them to lose. But AFC Bournemouth, they've been on top. They've gotten the two wins in that game. Moving forward, we had Ipswich Town versus Leicester City. This ended in a 1-1 draw. It was 1-0 for Ipswich up until they got a red card. And Leicester City put in the pressure on them. They got one goal back, which ended 1-1. They could have even won the game if there was still more time to go, but that was not what happened in that game. Moving on, we have Nottingham Forest. I think Nottingham Forest, they are one of the teams that is surprising everyone this season in the Premier League. Nottingham Forest are currently third on the Premier League table with 10 games in. They won 3-0 against West Ham. That was a fantastic display. Chris Wood on the score sheet again for them. It's just exciting to see Nottingham Forest rising up to this standard, to this level. They've struggled in the last two seasons. They almost got relegated at some point, but now they are firing. They are trying to get the win by all costs and just get those 3 points, which they are doing. They have one of the best defense in the league so far this season. They've considered less goals. They've won against Liverpool. Now they won against West Ham. They won the last game also. This shows that all these so-called smaller teams are not playing. They are not yet to play. They want to challenge. They want to show that yes, with boss players, we'll build a team and we can actually challenge the top guns. Not saying Nottingham Forest are going to win the league, but they are in fine form so far. They are third on the table, and they've won a lot of games that you don't expect them to win. And 10 games in, it's a good place to be for a Nottingham Forest team, which is fantastic for them. The likes of Austin Odoi, Elanga, these players, they are stepping up to the fray, especially the main man in Chris Wood. Moving on from that game, Southampton won against Everton. And this is one game that I think Everton, they've struggled this season. They've struggled to get results. They've struggled to get the team together. They've had a lot of red cards this season. Ashley Young got a red carded like twice already this season. They've struggled. But Southampton also, just coming into the Premier League, they've struggled to find the rhythm, to find the form. But now, I think it's a good way to go on from here, because they won in the Carabao Cup and also they've won another game. So that's two back-to-back wins for Southampton moving forward, which is a good one. I think the Premier League is just springing a lot of surprises on us, which is what we love about the Premier League, and that's why a lot of us watch the Premier League and support teams in the Premier League. Moving on from that game, there is the Wolves versus Crystal Palace game. That game was a very surprising one. The game started, first half ended 0-0, and we were like, okay, this is going to be a goalless draw because Wolves, they are struggling this season, same as Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace got their first win in the last game before this against Tottenham Hotspur, winning that game by 1-0. But all of a sudden, in the second half, the game spun to light, and we saw two goals each from both sides. Fantastic game. A lot of good goals from Wolves and from Crystal Palace. And that game ended 2-2. 2-2, draw, 1 point each, and they move on to the next team. On Sunday, we had Tottenham Hotspur versus Aston Villa, which is supposed to be a good game, and they gave us a very good game. In the first half, Aston Villa tried. They built on momentum. They tried to put the pressure on Tottenham Hotspur, and they actually got a goal in the first half. The first half ended 1-0, thinking that would be a Spurs loss, but I don't know what Ant Postecoglou did in the dressing room. But Tottenham Hotspur came out in the second half, went all out, and they got 4 goals in the second half. 2 goals from Dominic Solanke, a fantastic free kick from James Madison, and it just shows you don't know what to expect when it comes to the Premier League. You don't know what to expect, and we had a very good game, a very good game. Tottenham Hotspur versus uh, versus Aston Villa, which ended 4-1 in favor of uh, Tottenham Hotspur. The big game yesterday was Manchester United versus Chelsea. I think the expectation for that game was like, okay, it's supposed to be Chelsea. Chelsea, they were the dominant side, they were the better side. They are currently fourth on the table. They've done a lot of good work. Enzo Maresca coming in, he has tried to rally around the squad, build the squad to a certain level that they play good football. But the game was, it ended up to be a low quality game. It was two teams just misplacing passes. It was poor decision making. It wasn't the game everyone expected. It wasn't the exciting game everyone expected the Manchester United versus Chelsea game to be. But overall, that game ended 1-1. Manchester United getting the first goal from a penalty by Bruno Fernandes. And also, 4 minutes later, Casedo stepped up and got a fantastic goal. An outside the box strike from a corner kick, which was a fantastic strike for Casedo, and he won the man of the match in that game. This just shows that in the Premier League, there are some games you expect to be the big games, but there are a lot of games that will surprise you and give you excitement, good goals, good football, good games, which was very interesting to see in this game week. We still have one game to go. I think Fulham are supposed to play today, but regardless, it was a good weekend of football, good weekend of Premier League football, a lot of goals, a lot of interesting performances, a lot of shocking results, like the Newcastle result winning against Arsenal, and also like Manchester City losing to AFC Bournemouth. I don't think anyone saw that coming, but uh, this is going to be a reminder for every team in the Premier League that anyone can get the result, anyone can win. We also saw the Liverpool game, which I almost forgot. Liverpool winning 2 goals to 1 against Brighton. Brighton, they scored the first goal in the second half, won won the game by 1 in the first half, but in the second half, Liverpool stepped up. Mohamed Salah again on the score sheet at Anfield. He can't stop scoring. Yes, they say he's old. They say the age is getting to him, but he can't stop scoring. And it's good. It's good to see Mohamed Salah on the score sheet. And Liverpool coming back from that game to winning 2 goals to 1 at Anfield, which was a very interesting game also. But I think all around, this game week of football was really interesting. It was really exciting. We saw a lot of goals, a lot of performances, a lot of good things to look forward to in the other games. Now it's 10 games in, and the table is beginning to shape up. But Nottingham Forest, I think they are the surprise of this season. They are currently third in the Premier League, and they will keep pushing. They will keep going. They have one of the best defense in the Premier League, and long may we enjoy good football. Long may we enjoy excitement, good goals, and entertainment like we always do in the Premier League, guys. This is the weekend roundup. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What game do you think is the best game this weekend? And what game were you not excited about, or were you not like didn't you enjoy? If I should put it that way, guys. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like, subscribe, share, follow Football Family on all social media platforms, guys. Thank you, and stay tuned for more.